Leo Rautins and Sam Mitchell have stopped by the studio to chat, and they're excited about it. They're excited about the weather outside. They're not as excited about how the Raptors are closing out games lately. That's what we're going to chat about to start. Hi, guys. I know. Can we get the fireplace back for these guys? Can we bring that back?
Why don't we do the show from Florida? That'll be even better.
You guys will be there.
Forget a fireplace. Just do the show to Florida.
Yeah,
Florida.
We probably should move it to Florida at some point. We'll get to that eventually. Yeah, late game situations. How does this team improve? I felt like Matt Devlin was going to start crying. He was so upset at the end of this game. How do they improve in late game situations, Sam?
Put the ball in the guy's hand that you pay all the money to. Look who had the ball at the end of the game. Scotty Barnes didn't have the ball. Emmanuel Quickly didn't have the ball. B.I. didn't have the ball. You had role players had the ball. And so that's part of the problem. So you got to have, at the end of games, Leo knows this, when the game is tight, who do you want the ball? I probably want the ball in Scotty Barnes' hand.
Yeah.
Right? So make sure you put the ball in his hand and then have a go-to offense that you can set to either take some time off or get B.I. the ball in his spots where he can go to work and do his damage.
Also, you notice they've played better on the road, right? They've closed better on the road. And I think at home sometimes you relax a little bit. And I thought they definitely relaxed. They weren't playing with that same intensity they needed to close. And on the road, they finish harder. They're more intense. You can't lose that. You got to stay locked in down the stretch.
Is it a coaching issue though?
Dude, it's common sense. Didn't Anthony Edwards have the ball every time in the last 7 minutes of the game? He either got the rebound, stole the ball, or had the ball one-on-one, either made the pass or he scored. Well, the Raptors, look at all the different players touch the ball that last 5 minutes of the game. Look, I don't have my other players touching the ball. Maybe when they're open, Scotty feed them for a wide open shot. But to initiate the play, to set something up, to get us into something, some action, where we can get downhill and put pressure on the defense, I want Scotty to have the ball.
Makes perfect sense to me. Guys, I want to talk about the trade that the Raptors made on Wednesday ahead of the Thursday's deadline. Here it is. It's really like working on money, right? Ochai Agbaji to Brooklyn in a 3-team deal allows the Raptors to get under the luxury tax threshold. Chris Paul will be waived. So Bobby Webster has done something small here. Do you expect him to actually do something significant before the deadline?
They've already done stuff. They paid Quigley. They paid B.I. They paid Jakob Poeltl. Who else you go? They keep looking. Everybody in the NBA wants size, want big, want a big guy. Nobody has them. It's not like the only team that has an abundance of bigs, I think, is Phoenix. They got 3 or 4 bigs, and they're holding. It's not that those guys are so good. They're holding on to them because everybody wants big bodies. Remember, 5 years ago, everybody wanted a 6'7" team. They were cutting 7-footers. Now you can't find them. Why don't they go back and find some of them 7-footers that they sent home because they couldn't guard point guards on switches and kind of bring them back?
Well, it's kind of crazy because if you think about it, teams that win, they always end up hurting you inside with some kind of a big. So you got to have a big. It's just it's just the way the game is. And I still think they can find. They have to be looking, right? And Bobby's done his due diligence. He's been looking at the bigger deals. You're looking at Anthony Davis, looking at Sabonis, with Giannis as well. But you need somebody. You need a big body because right now nobody knows Yak's situation, right? Nobody expected him to be out this long. I think there's going into the season, even though nobody anticipated him being in that situation, I still think you should have protected yourself and found a big in the offseason.
Fair enough.
But at this point, you got to find somebody. And it doesn't have to be like you're just talking about a big body that can give you some solid minutes, give you 6 fouls, bang some bodies, be there if Yak can't be there. You got to have somebody.
But Sam brought it up. There's been rumors surrounding this team for the last several months about them going to acquire a big and using R.J. Barrett to do. Well, R.J. Barrett had a rough game on Wednesday night, and Matt and Jack were talking about it. Maybe it's weighing on him. The deadline's on Thursday, right?
Yeah, I think, he's a human being. It's got to wear on you, right? And you also remember he's coming back from 2 injuries.
Yep.
And now he's hearing this. And there's a guy I think genuinely wants to be in Toronto.
Of course.
Right? It's, hometown, you want to play, but, it's the nature of the beast. And when you're trying to get somebody, you got to throw somebody in the mix that's value.
Yep.
And he's proven value.
You mentioned Anthony Davis. He was traded on Wednesday to Washington. James Harden also dealt. So big names. Harden goes to Cleveland. Does that do anything for you, Sam? Does that help those two
teams? If I'm a
teams?
Raptor fan, I feel even better about my chances now against Cleveland. James Harden, I mean, really? When the last time we seen James Harden do something significant in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs? We haven't in 17 years. We haven't seen it. So I don't understand this move by Cleveland. It tells me that the Cavaliers are desperate.
Yeah,
It tells me
Donovan Mitchell and him.
Yeah, it tells me that
Yeah.
the general manager and the head coach are fighting for their job. To trade a 26-year-old all-star and Darius Garland, an all-star, for a 37-year-old guy that, think about this, the Clippers had to win 15 out of 20 games to get in the play-in. That's how bad this season has been thus far.
And postseason is nemesis. That's when he fails.
Yeah.
Right? And
it's been great this year. It should be pointed out, he's best scoring average this year in 6 years.
For 17 years, have we not seen this?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's fair.
You can go
He
back
scores.
to college in the postseason.
Yeah.
He's been the same. He's been the same guy.
true.
He's been the same
Watch
guy.
this, though, come playoff time. Watch the other teams, who they target on defense. Just watch.
Hard. What about Anthony Davis to Washington? What a
Can't make
bizarre,
that trade.
What a bizarre
Anthony Davis,
situation.
he wants a contract extension.
Yeah.
He played 20, since he's been traded to Dallas, he played 29 games. You know what a contract extension for Anthony Davis is going to be? In the high 60 to $70 million. Why would you do that? Yeah, he's a big, but he don't want to play center. He's been complaining about playing center, his best position since he's been in the league. So why would you do that, Leo?
But Washington has been so desperate for just anything, really, right? Just any reason to show up at the games.
Yeah, but they've done I think they've done a good job of moving assets, moving things around, because they were going nowhere for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I think there's some light. I'm seeing some light.
Yes.
Now, we're going to see how that plays out. But, again, we talk about Harden. Look at Boston picks up Vucevic, right? Because they need a big. But there's another big that postseason hasn't been friendly to him. Right? So you wonder how all this plays out, but it still tells you that you got to have a big.
Well, speaking of bigs, Giannis is still out there.
Yeah?
Giannis still wants to be dealt. You think he gets dealt by Thursday's deadline? And, Sam, in your mind, where would be a perfect destination?
Well, I wouldn't hurry the situation right now. It'll be this summer before I trade Giannis.
Okay.
You got to remember, the reason the Milwaukee Bucks are in this situation is because of Giannis. He went to them and wanted to change his team around. And I would say this to the Milwaukee Bucks fan. When the last time they had a dominant player like Giannis? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 1971.
Glenn Robinson?
No, it's been 1970 in the early 70s since you've had a guy as dominant as Giannis and Kareem.
For sure.
That's about, 30-something years, if not longer?
Yeah.
So let that resonate before he walks out the door now. We won't see another Giannis in Milwaukee in our lifetime.
And what did they do with Kareem or Lou Alcindor at the time? Wayne Embry, from the Raptors
Had to
now.
trade him.
He moved him.
Yep.
He did him a favor because Milwaukee wasn't a place he wanted to be. He moved him.
Everyone says Milwaukee's such a fun town.
Oh, yeah.
I lived there for 2 years. Stop.
You think it's cold here?
Stop.
Look, the deadline's coming up.
They got some good bars in Milwaukee.
There you go. There you go. Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. The ESPN Trade Deadline Special is available to you right here on TSN. Make sure you tune in.